It wasn't whether I would attend college. It was I would attend college. But where would I attend? My parents have raised me, embedding in me the fundamentals of life, love, perseverance, and education. That one goes to elementary school, high school, and then college. That you graduate, get a job, and form a family. So college was never a question. But I remember. I remember the first time it hit me. The first time I realized that fact had now become a question. It was my sophomore year in high school, and so far I was up in my game. I had been getting good grades throughout school. I had completed a massive amount of community service hours. I was involved in school clubs, the swim team, the soccer team, all in the hopes that I was doing the right thing, that I was doing what I was supposed to do as a student. And I was. That is, if I was any other student with sus papeles, their papers. I had gone to college trips and college orientations before my sophomore year. You know, the ones that tell you what it is that you needed to do to go to college, the ones that told you to get good grades and be a good citizen, the ones that told me to do exactly everything I was doing. But this college orientation was different. At this point, they weren't just talking about the good grades or what activities you should be doing. This orientation started presenting to us the types of documentations we needed to apply to college. The prizes, the in-state, out-of-state financial aid, loans, grants, scholarships, it was all crazy talk. I was completely disoriented and confused. Before that day, I had never heard of any of those things. It was all so bizarre. I didn't know the colleges all had different prizes. If I was in-state or out-of-state, that there was public or private, and what in the world was a social security number? But I knew. It was that thing again. That thing that my parents had told me about, that thing that they told me that made me different. I knew growing up that I was withheld of certain privileges, and that I would be unable to obtain certain privileges, that I was unable to travel outside of the States to visit my other family, that I wouldn't be able to work or ever receive my license. I knew those things. And at that age, they weren't much of a burden, but to discover that because of the same reason, college became more of a dream, a question, instead of a certainty, well, that was heartbreaking. I wanted to raise my hand and ask, what if I don't have a social security number? Can I still go to college? What if my parents don't have a social security number? Can I get financial aid? Do you have to have a social security number? But I didn't ask, because everyone else seemed to have it, because everyone else seemed to know what it was. At 15, I was heartbroken, not because of a boy or because I didn't get the Uggs I wanted, but because all of a sudden, the one thing that I seemed to be good at just got taken away. Because the one thing that I was looking forward to seemed as if I could never achieve, as if my whole future had shattered right in front of me. College was no longer a certainty, it almost seemed unobtainable. And even if I could find a college that would take me, how in the world was I ever to afford such a thing? I couldn't get financial aid, I couldn't take on any loans, and I certainly couldn't work. I can't work to go to college, and if I don't go to college, I can't work. 15, and it seemed as my educational career had already ended. I felt like I was on my own with no one to help me. My parents didn't know how to help me. I had known no one at personal level that had gone to college in the US. So soon, anger took over. I was mad at my parents, the school, this country. I was mad at myself for not being good enough. After that, an overwhelming amount of depression consumed my everyday life. I didn't see the point of doing great in school. I did just enough to be satisfactory, but not enough to be excellent. I would cry at night and stop talking to my parents. But right when things seemed to be there at their worst, I found help. I couldn't ask the counselors about applying to college. They had all asked for my social security number. I couldn't talk to my friends about it. I wouldn't know where to start or what they would say. But there was this one small room in the back of the hallway on the second floor where all the HILT classes were located, where I was able to find hope. That room was occupied by the school's Hispanic liaison, whose job was not college counseling, yet alone dealing with undocumented youth. But from everyone in the school, this one kind individual made me feel welcome and secure of not only my culture, but also of my immigrational status. And it was with that one individual where my search began. Thank you.